So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening in the world. This is the Unstoppable Show, and I am Jennifer Hardy, and of course, as always, I am joined with some of the most incredibly inspiring women from all around the world. And today we have on Heather Naude. How are you, Heather?
I am really well today. Thank you so much for having me on this amazing show, Jennifer.
Amazing. Heather, where is it you are in the world just now?
I am in London, UK.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. And I know that you absolutely adore traveling like me, don't you, as well?
Yes, definitely. I came back from Spain about a month ago and it was absolutely mind-blowing. It was amazing.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yep. It was absolutely beautiful. I got to sit by a beautiful pool for a week, watching beautiful mountains, and it was phenomenal. I will definitely be going back to Spain.
Travel definitely opens your mind and your heart, doesn't it?
Oh, totally. Just to be able to see the different cultures and the way that people that live so close to one another actually are completely different is just, it's mind-blowing to show you how many different kinds of worlds there are so close together.
It is. It's so beautiful. I absolutely adore it. So let us just introduce you. You have a business called Inspiring Motion, and basically your mission is to help women in actually 3 different stages of their life establish what makes them happy and work towards that happiness using the powerful NLP, but also spirituality as well. And that's an incredible combination. So I would love to ask you, Heather, to start with, who are the types of women that you are going to be working with?
So basically, the vision behind Inspiring Motion is to try and create a community of women that are there to support one another, not just through the bad times, but through all times. And from establishing the 3 stages, it actually kind of works with one another, where we as a community are there to help each other. So in terms of the budding stage, it's the school-leaving girls that have no idea what they want to do. They don't have much of experience in terms of adulting, and they are really confused about their next steps in life. So from that, we can actually create a community of other budding women to help answer some of these questions, because as women, we basically come across a lot of the time as crazy, because we've been told that a lot in our society, that some of the thoughts and feelings we have are a little bit crazy, when actually a lot of us feel that way. So by using the next level, which is the fruiting stage, those are older women that can also then pass on guidance or resonate with one another and help the budding stage. And then, of course, moving to the next stage, they can then help the fruiting stage of women. So it's really important that a woman can establish how she resonates in what category to be able to encompass a community of like-minded people.
Wonderful. What an incredible thing to begin, and it's so needed. I don't know how many times people used to say that my ideas were crazy, and you end up just believing that they are.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what is really, as I've been speaking to so many amazing women out there, is it's an understanding of ourselves and our mentality, and basically creating a platform for women to say, I'm feeling crazy, it must be my hormones. Well, hang on a minute, maybe I can connect with someone that can give me a little bit more clarity on why I'm feeling this way, in terms of whether it be balance in diet or mind or whatever the case may be able to create a community where she can get direction to any kind of craziness or spiraling that she actually feels. Because what I find with our craziness as women is, when it starts, it's just a seed, but we kind of are so hard on ourselves that we spiral out of control, and before we know it, we really get nasty with ourselves.
We do. Our self-talk sometimes is horrific.
Very much so. So I really found that through my spiritual growth and NLP is the quickest way to get ourselves out of that negative mindset is to change our thoughts. So the community there again is to say, stop being so hard on yourself. What you're actually missing in this whole beautiful point is what you've actually done in this aspect, rather than focusing on what's not really working so well. So basically another perspective from a similar mind.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. I'm so happy that you are taking the initiative and your experience and everything that you've been learning out there, and actually putting this together for women. So important. So on that note, actually, why did you decide, is this a personal thing for you? Have you gone through something yourself that's made you be like, okay, I want to get to know myself better, and therefore I want to teach this on to other people?
Yes, definitely. I think it's very much a part of my story when I think a lot of women go through an awakening stage, but in this personal growth, I come very much from an entrepreneurial background where I started one business and then started another business and then got involved in another business. And before I knew it, my time was so spent on those businesses that I forgot, or I didn't even start thinking about my own personal well-being. And when it got to a point where I realized that none of the businesses that I was involved in were my passion, and that I had no idea what my purpose was, that I decided to then start looking towards personal development. And what that actually helped me establish was looking at my inner self, connecting with my inner self and my inner child. And it made me look at my history, basically. And what I was able to establish was, through our experiences in life and being children and so open to the world, I think I turned off at a certain level. And then obviously something else happens in your experience. When I was 27, quite an emotional thing happened to me, and I almost feel like that's where I turned back on. And I started asking questions, not about career or what was expected of me in my community, but who I was as a human being. And that the most important thing, because we often ask ourselves, well, what am I doing here? What is this whole purpose of the world? When we actually are able to say, who am I, and start searching within ourselves to be able to be strong enough and find the courage to resonate with who we are in every aspect of our lives, to close that gap and align with ourselves. So I definitely have a personal feeling behind this, and that's why I'm pursuing it, because I find it really important that if someone at 19 said to me, you know what, Heather, it doesn't matter what you want to do as a career. What actually matters is that if you know yourself, because from knowing yourself is going to find you your purpose and how you're going to change and impact the world.
Absolutely. So true. I would love to know, because I think it's a bit of a grey area. People often think that, you know, the NLP and mindset and spirituality is all the same thing. But I would love to know, in your opinion, what do you think is the key differences actually of your perspective between spirituality and NLP? Because they are very different, aren't they?
You know what, it's fantastic, and I'm so glad that you asked that question, because for me, when I started the personal development, which was more the spirituality, when I spoke to people don't resonate with spirituality. I'm not sure why exactly. I think it's limited understanding or belief in our society, especially when it comes to religious views.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think it's a lot to do with people think it's religious.
Yes.
Or it's witchcraft. Or
yes.
It's very woo-woo, and actually it's not that at all.
No, not at all. So how I actually connected with that was, I started studying NLP because NLP is a neuroscience. There is scientific proof behind the techniques and the tools in terms of our brains and our past beliefs and perceptions with NLP that actually help us mind shift our past beliefs and how we were brought up, how we interpret things. NLP is very much a scientific study, which is fantastic, because for those of us that have come from a very analytical or rational upbringing, it enables us to make the connection in a very analytical way. But then when we can see the similarities and the differences in terms of spirituality, what I really enjoy is finding the similarities in my own spiritual path and NLP, and going, it is fantastic that these things are the same thing, because a lot of people find that because they are so separate, they almost have to do double the work to get there. But it's really interesting finding those synchronicities between them and being able to say, wow, now I can understand this on a neuroscientific, analytical level, and then on a spiritual, more creative level, and kind of combine the two.
Incredible. And if anyone is out there and they are sitting thinking, oh, actually, I know, or I kind of understand spirituality a little bit, but I've got no idea what NLP stands for.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a kind of quick rundown on what NLP is, just for anyone that's listening that's not came across it before.
Okay, so NLP is basically, it's neuro-linguistic programming. So what it entails is the fact that we are brought up with core beliefs and value systems that we then go through our life. And what happens when we reach a certain maturity is we start to question those core beliefs. And that is where then we either establish new beliefs or we continue within those beliefs. And those beliefs are very made up by perceptions. So nobody can have the same opinions, belief, perceptions, or feelings in the world. We all interpret it very differently.
Wonderful. Best answer I've heard to describe NLP.
Oh, great.
It is actually very simple. It's a science, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely. And it's very interesting to understand when you go through the techniques to say, sure, you know, well, I was brought up believing this. And for so much of my life, I didn't agree with it. And I really thought that I shouldn't go against the grain because that's what's expected of me. But when you go through the motions and you understand why people have those thoughts or feelings, and it's all based on their experience. And it's so wonderful to be able to release yourself from that and be like, you know what? I'm going to go into this and I'm going to experience it as openly and neutrally as I can. And I'm going to look forward to the experience that I have.
And it's an incredible experience, isn't it?
Oh, certainly. I've not had one, since that mentality has come to me, there's not been one experience that I have said, sure, whoops, they were right.
Love it. Wonderful. So tell me as well, obviously this is an incredible platform that you are in the midst of creating, and it's at the early stages, which is really beautiful. But I want to talk in a couple of years' time. Yes. What do you want to achieve with this platform? What is your big mission?
My big mission is to go out there and find as many women, in terms of women that are seeking or women that are offering healing. I've heard a lot, and I'm not sure if this is because of the people that I resonate with or communicate with, but there are so many people talking about huge energy shifts and changes in the world. And I really want to be able to offer a vetted list of service providers that can offer an array of the balance and alignment that women seek. So I would love to be able to have a large community of women that can offer a whole different array of healing, and then obviously have the community of the women be able to be there and support one another and create a community that unites and connects women worldwide. I want women to be able to find this a safe place and a safe platform to come out and speak on things that we often say to ourselves, if I let anybody know that, I'm going to be, shushed, I'm going to be shunned. I want to create a platform that is safe and secure so that wherever women go in the world, they know that they could connect with that community and feel safe and connected at all times.
That is wonderful. So lovely. So obviously that is for your community. Tell me a little bit about, Heather, what you want to achieve within the next few years.
What I would like to achieve is in terms of inspiring motion, I would like to get out there and speak to as many people as I can, especially women in the budding stage, because it's really important that our future generations are able to have the right mindset and change of mentality. So getting out there and speaking to as many people as I can. What I would also really like to do is, when it comes to the paid memberships, be able to take 10% of those memberships every month and be able to, within the community, decide where we're going to take that membership and go and impact and help women where we as a community choose to go. I also have other business interests. There's definitely an app that I'm busy in communication of, but that one we will discuss probably at some other time. But my main mission is to go out there and help the world, as many women as I can, connect with themselves and find their true happiness, because we all search far and wide for our happiness, but our happiness is actually right with us at every moment. We've just got to look in the right place.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you so much, Heather, for being on today and talking about your mission, your vision, and the way that you're going to change your part or the bigger world for absolute good. It's incredibly inspiring. Thank you so much. Tell me a little bit, Heather, about where we can find you, because I know that you're about to launch, and I know that there'll be a lot of women listening to this going, do you know what? I really want to get to the roots of myself. I want to understand myself better, and maybe spirituality and maybe NLP is the way that is going to work for them. So
Yes.
I'd love to know where we can find you online so that we can come and be a part of your movement.
Definitely. You can find us online. Our website is inspiringmotion.co.uk. Through our website, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram. And with the women that are definitely listening to this, I'd really love to connect with you. Follow us, email me, all that great stuff. If you want to get involved as well. For me, I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration and abundance for all of us. And the amount of women that really want to impact one another and help in this cause, let's chat. Let's see how we can help more and more women as we go.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you so much, Heather. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for what you're doing in the world and how you're impacting others. I really enjoy following you, and you're always such a great inspiration to me. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. So everyone that's out there listening today, please jump over and follow Heather and get to be part of her community. She's an incredibly inspiring entrepreneur, and there's so many things that she has up her sleeve over the next few years and going forward. So it's incredible. So I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening again, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being a part of the Unstoppable movement. Thank you for listening. If you want to check out the links below, you can, and that will have Heather's information and of course Unstoppable information, and you can apply to also be a guest on this awesome podcast station. So thank you so much again for listening. Have a beautiful day or night.